Disclaimer: TIFF, N, The Punisher. The views and opinions expressed in this episode of TIFF and The Punisher are those of the hosts and guests solely and do not constitute legal advice, medical advice, or professional counsel of any kind. This content is produced for educational, informational, and advocacy purposes only. Viewers should consult their own licensed attorney for advice specific to their situation. Nothing in this video constitutes a threat, call to violence, harassment, intimidation, or any form of harm directed at any judge, prosecutor, police officer, CPS, DCS worker, government official, or private individual. We do not advocate, encourage, or condone violence, threats, or illegal acts of any kind. All commentary is protected political speech and criticism of government policy and practices under the First Amendment. Any references to public records, court filings, news reports, or personal experiences are presented as commentary and opinion. Names, case details, and events discussed are drawn from publicly available information or the speaker's own experiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Content may address sensitive topics, including child welfare, government overreach, and family separation. Copyright 2026, TIFF N, The Punisher. All rights reserved.
They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallets. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You will no longer will steal our kids this way. TIFF! TIFF and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. TIFF wants to fight the entire planet. She's tired of our kids being taken. God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with hot speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come. Picking you off one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. Your judges need to learn what you stand for. This is TIFF and the Punisher Warrior. And we cry out to all you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. Our children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping.
Dude, you cut that off. There was a huge climactic moment in the
It was
music.
like
and
an almost orgasmic moment that I ruined. You know, leave it to me
Yeah.
to ruin a moment.
Well, all right.
Damn it. You know, A for effort. A for
I mean,
effort.
I got to give you an A+ for effort, honestly, dude. That's all the
Oh.
all the music and the graphics, and I'm seeing myself on here like a superhero charging forward with big old fists, you know,
Well,
and
you
looking
are a
very
superhero.
angry. You got my eyebrows are like this, right? I'm so mad.
Yeah.
Ah!
Well, have you ever looked at your eyebrows when you're angry?
No, because I would think that was scary. Hang on.
Yeah. Well, they do that. They actually make those points. So, that's that. But
I
you
know
are
you get a lot of
superhero,
repeat
man.
viewers.
Look,
Oh, thanks.
look, you are a superhero.
You're the leader,
And, you know,
though.
like
You're the
you-
leader. You're the head
I'm no
dropkick.
leader. So
No, that's
no,
not true.
but you are a superhero.
That's not true.
Brother.
No,
Like,
that's
you-
not
you
true.
come
You're
out-
here. You lead this coalition. And am I wrong, Tiff? It's true. You know,
It is true.
you have assembled your dedication.
Right.
And
He
your
brought everybody
effort
together.
have brought all these people together, all our viewers, all the people that come on and comment, all the guests that have come on and commented, and they've all said, thank you, Darren, for bringing everyone together. So I am but a
Right,
humble
well-
guest, co-host. But someone sent me
No,
this
but
cool
you
flag.
too.
Check this out.
You have a flag. Right. You have a flag. So you are
Right.
too a superhero.
Okay.
And you give
I'm
listen,
Captain America
you give up,
to your...
you give up
Do
your
I give up?
Thursdays
Oh,
and
hell no,
you
dude.
give up your Thursday nights, you give up tons of time in your life to your devotion for the stuff that you know, like you know, now it's your CPS trek, but for the sheriff's thing that you're doing, you know, trying to unite the sheriffs and do all of that.
true.
But now, you know, like you're on the
All true.
CPS kick. So you are just
Yep.
as much as a leader and superhero as all of us, just as much as Tiff, all of us. You know, this isn't, you know, it's not Darren the Punisher's stuff and you guys are co-hosts. It's Tiff
It's your
and the
brand,
Punisher
your
with Angry
logo.
Citizen.
Your Venmo, send Darren money. He asks for money every time, doesn't he? Look at Tiff laughing.
Yeah. Call me Stand with Darren. Stand with Darren podcast.
StandWithDarren.org. Send money.
Yep.
Well, yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about the issue itself lately because it seems like I was watching some of your last couple streams. You were talking about Constitution. You were talking about the lack of accountability and educating people about their rights. And this is something that I think unites most people, is that we all want to have our rights respected. And when we are confronted with agents and enforcers in America, that's a phrase you need to memorize. The people that come to you, that knock on your door, are agents Agents work for agencies. Agencies are created by our elected servants. And I'm going to tell you all right now, and we're not going to talk about this at all because it will distract us, but I, the angry citizen, contend that agents and agencies have no authority, okay? They don't have the authority to knock on your door and ask you questions and demand that you account to them for what you're doing with your kids or if you have dirty dishes in the damn sink, okay? But let's put that aside because we have to argue within the framework of somehow it seems to be widely publicly understood and accepted that this agency does have authority. We're all pretending they do, right? Mm-hmm. America does. When they knock on your door, everyone goes, "Oh my goodness! Oh, who are you?" And I am Agent Rachel Banks from the Organization of Child Protective Services. Are you Tiffany Wise? Right? And we're now going, "Oh my goodness, there are these people and they sound very authoritative." And right. Well, we need to flip that power paradigm around. My first question always, this is the question always you ask, always, every fucking time. Who the fuck are you? Right? You're knocking on my door. Right? That's what Tiffany would say, right? Am I right? She's probably uttered those very words, haven't you?
Look, I have. And this last call that I got, I swear to God, I told Darren I thought I was being punked, right? Because she said, I'm whatever your name is, from CPS, and we're investigating you for abuse and neglect. And my exact words to her were, "Who are you again?
Who the fuck are you?" Right? So that's what everyone needs to memorize. You don't owe anyone any explanations. You have your authority. You're a sovereign being. You're a constitutional American. You don't owe anyone an explanation. No one gets to knock on your door and start demanding that you account to them and explain yourself to them and answer their damn questions. I shut my door right in their face. Who the fuck are you? Do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant? If the answer is no, the conversation is over. Get the fuck off my property right now, Tiffany.
I did it. Saying. 12 police officers and a CPS worker. I marched them right off my property.
So, yeah, that is the most important, the critical aspect of the message that the CPS Punisher movement and mentality can convey to all of you, everyone in America, that you don't owe anyone any damn explanations about who you are, how you conduct your life, what you're doing with your children. Let's pretend for a moment that the standard of the whole so-called child protective services industry is somehow valid, right? I contend that it is not, but that's a separate discussion. We're pushing that aside. We're going to pretend it is. Pretend that the law is actually valid, that says that these people somehow have some authority to come to you suspecting that you might be a danger to your child, and they are going to interfere in your life and ultimately decide if they want to and the word they use is remove. Okay, well, I hate that freaking word with every fiber of my soul, because they're not actually removing your child. They are kidnapping your child or children. Kidnapping, okay? And we need to use that word more, because that is a crime. It's a federal offense. Kidnapping is a very, very serious crime. I believe it's a Class D felony. Is that right, you guys?
I believe so.
So I'm just saying.
And if you look it up,
I will, because now I look like a schmuck if I don't. I should know that.
If you look it up, everything that you just said is in fact just that. It's kidnapping. It goes
really
right
is.
by what they
really
say.
Is.
Kidnapping.
So the standard, what they tell us. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tiff.
So you're talking about accountability. So I told you I'd give you an update on my court stuff, on my case. Well, my case was closed after I sent a demand letter. And I actually filed in circuit court on August 14th to have the record unsealed and to be purged. So CPS and I will be going round and round in a courtroom as soon as I get a court date. And I sent my paperwork to Darren today where it is actually on the docket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would love to see you prevail, and I would love to see them all held accountable. So, because it's my feeling, and I believe I'm correct in this, I don't think I'm saying anything here that is non-factual in any way. I believe that if you accept their paradigm, that the law that supposedly states, and I understand this very clearly, that if in order for them to be able to use the authority they claim that they have, that I don't think they have, but they claim they do, to quote unquote remove your child, which is in my world kidnapping, but they say they have the authority to do this.
Yep.
It has to be established, absolutely firmly established, that your child is in imminent danger. Isn't that correct?
Mm-hmm.
I believe
Yes, it
so.
is.
Okay, so if you accept that paradigm, if you're one of the many people, and there are a lot of people out there, they accept that paradigm, that they do have the right, the authority to quote unquote remove, which in my world is kidnapping, but I'll use their word for now. I'll use Satan's word, remove. You're going to remove. The agents and enforcers are going to come to your house, and they're going to issue you an order from some judge that says that they're going to remove your child, which they are now going to take your child away from you. Your child will now be with strangers. You don't know them. Your child doesn't know them. Your child ripped away from you using force if necessary and under threat and coercion. There are men with guns standing around telling you you will be arrested if you try to oppose this action that is being taken, right? And even if you do subscribe to and support their narrative that they have some right or authority to do this, you must therefore accept the paradigm that if the standard is not met, they are kidnapping your child. In other words, if they claim your child is in imminent danger, but your child is not in imminent danger, and the evidence clearly shows that your child was not in imminent danger, or that their so-called standards and protocols were not followed, they are immediately guilty of kidnapping. Right? It's true. I'm speaking the truth.
Facts.
So if they come to you and they say at some point, oops, sorry, right? We did take your child, and once all the evidence was reviewed, it actually does show that your child was not in imminent danger. They literally just admitted that they kidnapped your child, and every single one of them is guilty of kidnapping, okay? Potentially even aggravated kidnapping, because they are threatening you with violence if you attempt to stop them, or at least accessory to kidnapping, as well as deprivation of rights under color of law. They're all guilty. It's the truth.
Because here's the thing, Dana. If they come in and take your kids under the standard of imminent danger, kidnap your kids under imminent danger, then they have the 72-hour hearing. That 72-hour hearing, and this is when it's even more screwed up than when they do this, is when they don't even give people that due process to that. But the 72-hour hearing is supposed to be when they actually come in and lay down their proof that your child was in imminent danger. And a lot of times they're not even giving these people for that.
It's not done.
So that in itself is another.
That's a matter of record, right?
It's
a matter of record. If they do this or not, it is a matter of record. It's shown very clearly that they didn't do it. They didn't meet the standard. If they don't meet the standard, they are guilty of crimes. They should be arrested. They should be punished and tried, and when convicted, face the penalty that is appropriate to them. And the only way it will happen is if we, the people, all get together and loudly demand that it happen. And that's what you are doing, Darren. You are getting together all the people that have had this happen into one powerful coalition. And we will all, and I'm with you, even though I've not been screwed over by that particular system, I don't care. I am smart enough to know that your rights and Tiffany's rights are my rights. And I will not stand by and watch either of you have your rights taken away from you and not speak out against it, because I am a constitutional American and I want every single one of these sons of bitches to be held accountable. And I would love to see them tried. I would love to see a whole bunch of people, hundreds or thousands of them involved in this industry, held accountable, charged with kidnapping or accessory to kidnapping or aggravated kidnapping, thrown in jail, even charged with deprivation of rights under color of law, which if it results in, look up, viewers, look this up, deprivation of rights under color of law, and look up if it is aggravated, i.e. Injury or death as a result of this, they can be given the death penalty. That's the God's honest truth. Look it up.
Right.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, are just scared, right? Because when they get that first initial knock, they're not like me, right? Like, I don't put up with their bullshit. I don't give a fuck who they are. Jesus Christ could be standing at my front door and, no, you're not coming in my house without a warrant. You're not talking to anybody without a warrant. I want you to take me to court, right? I prefer you to take me to court because you're just going to twist everything I say around, right? So I don't even want to talk to you. So I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right to shut the fuck up. I have a right to privacy. You're trespassing. And if you don't have a court order to remove this child, why are you here? And why the hell would you bring 12 police officers who I clearly say in front of them, do you have a court order? She says no. In my video, you hear my voice change because I'm about to laugh at her. This is what I said to her. They know they can't come in my house, and you know you can't come in my house. No, you're not coming. No, get off my property.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. People are afraid and people don't know their rights. And this is something I encountered long ago when I first started Angry Citizen. I couldn't understand how so many people, even people that know their very basic rights, don't demand that they be enforced. So when I was very young, and my mother was super, super, super hippie liberal, hated guns, really hated guns. Like guns were bad, evil, terrible things. And it wasn't until I was I was probably like 11, 12, 13 range when I started, like, a friend of mine whose father was a firearms enthusiast took us shooting, and I started talking to him, and I asked him about the Second Amendment. And here's the thing: when I was very young, I was probably 8 or 9 years old when I first heard the Second Amendment, and someone read it to me, and I said to myself, and I was actually terrified. God's honest truth. Okay, I was like, that's a horrible thing. This literally says any freaking schmuck out there can just buy a gun, right? Like, you can't stop him. Fred Moron decides he's going to buy himself a gun, fully automatic, right? And literally says there, sorry, you have nothing to say. So when I first encountered my friend's father and we talked about this, and I said to him, was this terrifying? Like, why would any schmuck and idiot be able to buy a gun? And he started talking to me about this issue and getting right into it about, well, who do you say is or is not allowed to buy a gun? Right. And now we start getting, well, okay, so, well, if someone's like a violent psychopath, they shouldn't have one. And he said, well, I agree with you completely. Wouldn't want a violent psychopath to have a gun. I said, okay, well,
no,
we seem to be on the same page. I said, well, what about like criminals, bank robbers, people, gang members? He said, no, we don't want them to have guns. No, absolutely. I said, oh, okay. So I'm thinking, well, this sounds like he's not making a lick of sense to me. I said, well, but the Second Amendment says that the violent psychopath can buy a gun. And he says, well, not exactly. If the violent psychopath has a criminal record, then there will be an issue there. But if we don't know he's a violent psychopath, what are we going to do? Have everyone try to pass a test? We have a national test. What if you need a gun? What if your daughter's being stalked by someone? The boyfriend says, if I can't have her, no one will. Or maybe worse, maybe the boyfriend says, I'll track that bitch down and put a bullet in her head. You need to protect her. You now need a gun. What are you going to do? And I started realizing more and more that what this guy was saying made a lot of sense. And then the basic, most important thing he said to me was gun laws don't work. You can't stop violent people from getting guns or other weapons because they're violent, psychopathic people. It is their purpose. They're dedicated to doing it. And they don't care about the law. They've already decided they're going to beat people up or murder them. Why does the law stop them? It doesn't. And then I saw all these laws on the book. Like Darren and I have talked about this. These billions of laws about how long the barrel can be and how whether or not you're allowed to have a sound suppressor on it and whether or not the kind of stock it has. I don't know if our viewers are familiar with the I'm pretty sure it was 1984. They had the Clinton era assault weapons ban, and I went through hell with this because I asked a million people, everyone that said they thought this was a good idea. I asked them, "What's an assault weapon? Can you tell me?" And I'm not kidding you when I tell you both right now. No one, not one person that I asked that question to could provide me with an accurate answer to the question. They had no idea what this term meant, assault weapon or assault rifle. No idea. And the entire thing was a giant waste of time. And at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, the Second Amendment means what it says. Our right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and all gun laws are unconstitutional. And I'm sorry if that makes you all uncomfortable. Believe me, it does make a lot of people really upset, but that's the truth. And yet we have thousands of gun laws. Right? How many gun laws are there on the books? Like thousands of laws. And yet the bank robber doesn't care. He walks in, he pulls his pistol out, he points it at the teller and says, "Give me all your money or I'll blow your head off."
Well, I know the gun ban here in Virginia has been put on a stay. It is actually going, I don't really talk about our officials here, but I think we have got to be we've got to have the stupidest attorney general in America. Okay.
Careful. No. You haven't met ours. You haven't met Shenabella.
Correct.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But how are you going to go to the Supreme Court and argue the Second Amendment does not matter?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, how do you really have a leg to stand on?
They don't. That's the thing. It's like a Monty Python skit. It's so funny. It's ridiculous. And literally standing there and telling you the moon is square. No, look, see right there. It's square. You're like, what? And you look at them. What?
Yeah.
It's round. Oh no, it's square.
Yeah. So
no.
The stay has been put in place until the Supreme Court of the United States has agreed to hear it.
Dude, that's crazy because they've already ruled. The Supreme Court already ruled that the Second Amendment literally means what it says. Our right to keep and bear arms is guaranteed us by God himself, and you cannot take it away without due process, just like any of our other rights. It infuriates me that we live in a society where that ridiculous bullshit would be supported. It's insane. Excuse my French. Yeah. But
so it basically goes down to the definitions, right? Because when's the question going to come up for that? And it says, well, what do they consider arms? What are arms? So imminent danger. Here's the problem. What is imminent danger? What consists of imminent danger? What is the definition of imminent danger? Because my definition is, hell breaking loose, bombs going off, ambulances, fire trucks, whatever
you said it perfectly before, Darren. Okay. The last time we had this discussion, you said it perfectly. Imminent means it's right on you right now. Like not maybe will happen in a month or a year, right? Imminent, right there in your face, right? Danger, threat of harm of some sort. And it's so obvious. And yet, like you said, it has to be defined because idiots, the social services worker will say, well, there was dishes in your sink or dirty laundry, right?
But that's dirty laundry is
very dangerous. Dangerous, Darren.
Right. You left your sock on the floor, Darren. Imminent danger.
it could catch fire any minute. It could burst into flames and burn
Right.
down the entire house. You don't even know.
Right.
Well, I will say this. I see some people in here commenting about the Trump administration. I don't really care about that. What I do care about is that Alex up there working with RFK has told the states they must define the actual word of neglect and abuse. They have to literally put it into a legal definition, like, because 99% of children that are removed are for neglect, right? Not even abuse. So that, and I've been complaining about this for years. That neglect is so huge of a word, right?
It's vague. Yeah, it's vague.
Right. It's very vague. So the RFK administration has said that all states must narrow down the legal definition of abuse and neglect. They have to.
I want to pull this up here.
Darren, why isn't your picture up?
Oh, my camera keeps beeping on and off. I don't know why. Like a loose wire or something. Let's see where it is here. 2022 Maine Board of Overseers. I want you to read this. I use this in my case. 2022 CPS. Let's see if I can find it right here where they say it in here.
I mean, the concept itself is very sound, because you really need to be able to be airtight, super solid. If you're in any kind of judicial proceedings, and it needs to be very, very clearly and obviously defined that your child was in fact being neglected, and there needs to be a airtight, black and white standard for establishing that your child was being neglected. If you have 3 kids and you lock your front door, hop in your car, take off, and go out partying with your friends for a week and a half, I think a reasonable person might consider that the standard of proof of neglect was met. But if today my son was here with me for a while, and he was very busy and happy and playing Plants vs. Zombies on my computer, and I laid down on my bed and I tried to take a nap. Didn't work, but let's pretend it did, and I actually got to sleep. So,
yes.
Am I neglecting my son? That's a gray area. It's a huge gray area, and you really need to be able to define it. I don't think any reasonable person would say that, I was neglecting him by doing that. But some real, tight ass might say you can't take your eyes off them for 2 seconds. And there would be some validity to that. My son's very resourceful. And as soon as my back is turned or my eyes are closed, he is exploring every child-proof device to attempt to disarm it. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany knows. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. As soon as you close the safe and everything is safe inside, you see your kid there and focused very heavily on it and spinning the dial. And you just for a moment, you're a little concerned that maybe even though God himself could not open that thing, maybe that kid might figure out how to open the safe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you'll be like, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So check this out. This right here is a report from the Oversight Committee in the state of Maine. This is back from 2022. It says what child abuse and neglect is not. Some situations may indicate that a family or a child needs community services or support, but do not meet the definition of child abuse or neglect. Examples include living in poverty, including lack of food, clothing, or shelter that is not injurious to the child. Accidental injuries, even if regular and reoccurring. Parental prenatal substance use. Physical or mental impairment of the parent, including substance use, if it has little or no impact on the child. Isolated incidents of domestic violence when the child was not present. Physical discipline, like spanking, as long as it does not cause bodily injury. That's what the state of Maine's Oversight Committee said, that child abuse and neglect is not. But how many parents out here are missing their kids now because of these conditions?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
About 99% of them.
Exactly.
And the worst thing, and this is critical, folks, and everyone in America needs to hear this. The worst thing is that the children here in Maine who were genuinely in need, okay, who were being violently abused by their parents, were not saved by Child Protective Services. And Child Protective Services was aware of them. Okay, look this up. Look this up. I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. They were beaten to death by savage demons and not saved by the benevolent, the kind, benevolent, angelic Child Protective Services workers did not come in and take those children away from those horrible people and put them in a nice, safe, loving home. They didn't. They abandoned them to be beaten to death. It makes my blood boil. And then they took
they don't want those kids. Those are unadoptable.
Thank you.
Children.
That's exactly the reason.
Those are broken.
Right?
There you go. There you go.
Damaged goods.
Yep.
Damaged goods, they call it.
And I tell people this. People have often asked me that don't understand the system like I understand the system. Well, why are you speaking out against them? They do such good. I said, that's what I used to say. I used to say, if they were really doing a good job, do you think I would actually be out here making myself look like an idiot telling the truth? Now, when somebody says, why CPS doesn't remove kids for no reason, my only response to them is, what's your address?
Yeah, we'll call CPS for you.
We'll call them and we'll send them to your house.
That is my initial response is that that's kind of a dick move, but at the same time, it actually is, I think, important, because this is the horror that gets inflicted on people. And if you're one of these people that thinks that this isn't like a bad thing, and if Tiffany said that to you, if you were one of these people and you were talking to her and she said, well, what's your address, right? Would you feel a spike of dread? Would you? Right? You would. You'd be like, oh no, oh my God, no. Why? Right? If you've done nothing wrong, why are you afraid? Will you admit that her complaint, Darren's complaint, that this is a valid complaint and these people don't need just cause, and instead come against you with threat and coercion and totalitarian tactics? Enforcers and agents show up with their clipboards and start demanding answers and stripping you of your God-given and constitutionally protected rights without the slightest hint of just cause. That's the truth. And if not just like Tiffany, like if you were listening to Tiffany or you were listening to Darren and you told them, you listen to them tell you their tales, you might think, oh, well, this is I guess it happens once in a while. But go back through all the Tiff and the Punisher podcasts and listen to every single person who's come on and given you their personal testimony for what happened to them. And then tell me that every single fucking one of them is lying to you. You know it's not the case. They're telling you the truth. This is a rampant problem, widespread corruption, fraud, and the destruction of the family. And who likes the destruction of the family? Evil. Satan. That's what I'm talking about right there. Destroy the families, rip them apart, tear them apart, throw those children into horrific circumstances with random strangers who will at best neglect them, at worst attack them, beat them, rape them. That's the truth. That's the ugly
what they're going towards. They're taking perfectly good children and casting them into what they're supposed to be protecting them from.
They're casting them into hell.
Yeah. And imagine being a child and having a bunch of random people with suits and police with guns and badges come in and forcibly remove you from your parents and throw you in a vehicle and take you off to some random place with some random people you've never met, have no idea who they are, imagine. So, all right, this is a good.
I mean, it's got to be close to just feeling like you've been kidnapped by a kid. Imagine what
you have.
kid,
Yeah,
like
amen.
we all
Let's speak
complain
the
about
truth.
it. We all
were
talk.
kidnapped.
Listen, we're adults. Like we can fight through this. We can deal with this. We can do what we're supposed to do as parents, and and we can have our friends. We can call our friends up and we say, "Hey, listen, Dana, they did this to me. This is wrong." Blah 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 blah. But these little kids can't do anything.
That's right.
They can do nothing but sit in this back room that these parents just put them in, tell them to, sit back there and be quiet until supper time.
Do what you're told.
Whatever.
Shut
These
up.
These poor kids can only do. Yeah, they've got no defense mechanisms. They've got nothing.
Yep. They have no ability to stand up for themselves because they're just children. They're helpless children. So, Darren, let's talk about your app. So, I think one of the most important things I've ever seen Darren do is to create an app that will reach out to all people everywhere who have been affected by CPS. If you were a child and you were abducted, kidnapped by agents, and you were fed what I believe probably highly likely is a line of shit about how your parent was a drunken, imbecile, drug-using, bank-robbing, murdering piece of shit who didn't give a damn about you. And maybe that was bullshit. Maybe it was bullshit. And maybe your parents both were deeply traumatized just as badly as you were, prevented from talking to you, deliberately blocked from talking to you by agents and enforcers who lacked authority. That's my contention. Me, the angry citizen right now, I'm telling you, they didn't have the authority, and I defy all of them. Let's pretend they did. For purposes of the argument, I will pretend that I believe that you had the authority to kidnap these children and move them somewhere else and hand them off to some random stranger that you claimed was vetted. Bullshit on the entire premise, right? And you grew up thinking your parents had neglected you, or they were terrible people. They had done bad things. They were bank robbing, camel raping, whatever. Okay. So at some point in your life, you think to yourself, maybe I would like to just reach out and talk to these people. Darren has the app. If you were taken, if you had your children taken, no matter how old you are, it does not matter. Okay. This app will potentially reunite you, and you can compare notes. And your parents might tell you, I never abandoned you. I never gave up. I did everything to try to reach out to you and connect to you. The system, the giant weight of a corrupt system came against me and you and stopped me from being able to talk to you. That's the app you need. Find your loved ones, okay? And everyone, if you have been affected by CPS, check this out. If you know someone who has been affected by CPS, send them this link and you will be reunited. And I would love to see it. And I would love to see all the people that are successfully reunited come on here and tell Darren thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait till we get the first one that happens to.
Amen.
And for the first 1,000 people, it's free.
There you go. I'll wait. I'll be 1,001 and I'll pay you the $1.50 or whatever you're charging.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's real cheap. Just helps me keep this thing up forever. But yeah, check it out, man. You go here, you search your profiles. So if you're whom you're looking for, you search by a name or location. It's got a likelihood matcher. Of course, there's 6 of us up here that only have signed up for it so far. There seems to be 13 people signed up for it so far, but only 6 have made profiles. But we'll just use my profile just for shits and giggles. This is what you get. You get to have your picture. You can add pictures to it. You put your phone number. You can put an email address. Your statement. You can make a video. See, like you can make a video there if you want to make a video. I don't think I did. I think it's just testing this out. So there you go.
There we are.
You make a video.
It's just the beginning.
It does 30 seconds. I think it's 30 seconds that you get to make a video for. You can put pictures up, you know, like of photos and things like that. So you do that, and then what you can do is you look at the map, and hopefully when this thing starts filling out, you'll see all the places in the United States. So you'll know, like, oh man, maybe my mom's searching for me, so I can click here, and then that will tell you the name of the parent who's searching for you, or the kid, or whatever. So you'll know where in the United States to look, who it is, you know, like yada yada yada. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, man. And I really hope that people start using this resource and start trying to seek their loved ones that they lost, you know, because of CPS.
Yeah, please do. You know,
Did
you owe it to each other. You owe it to each other to reach out and verify that what you were told was true. Both of you, parents who've lost children, children who were taken from parents, you know, you need to talk to your parents, and no one can stand between you and tell you you're not allowed to talk to them because blah blah blah. Okay. Sorry, Tiff. Go ahead.
I just wanted to know, Darren, did you put that in our book?
I did not. I did not put that in the book. This was post. Well, I mean, it's here now, but I did not. So now I have to be for the next one.
Okay. Did our book drop yet?
Yep. Up within the next hour after this show. I finally got.
And did you send me the revised copy?
Tiff, one thing at a time.
Okay.
One thing at a time.
For God's sake, Tiff, climb down off his back. What the hell?
Tiff, my back. I have a broken back.
He's busy. He's got cats to feed. Hey, listen, one more thing too. Like the last time that we were together and we were talking, and later I saw one of your shows. I wasn't on there with you that particular show, but I watched you guys talking. You had some really powerful guests, and it occurred to me that it would be a really good thing as a tool to have what I call a bulletin board or a forum. And I've talked to Darren about this before too, because I created a sheriff's forum a while back. Didn't go anywhere, but it's not dead. I just haven't done anything with it in a while. But a forum is like an online electronic bulletin board service. And you can post topics, and you can talk about topics, and you can create a profile, which basically talks about you. And every single one of you that's working on this needs to make your presence known. You know, you can put in a link to your website, you can put in contact information, you can talk about any subject you want, you can comment on other people's posts on the forum. And I went and I reserved a domain, which is holdcpsaccountable.org. Again, holdcpsaccountable.org. And I'm going to put up the forum software in there. Darren and I haven't had a chance to catch up since our last conversation, but I talked to him about this a little bit, and he asked me about what types of programs I was looking to use for that, and I sent him some links to those. But I don't think either one of us has followed up on that, but one of us will follow up on this, and that domain will be your home. So if you are interested in this cause, and first of all, definitely check out Darren's website, which is cpsbreakingnews.com. Is that right, Darren?
Yep, cpsbreakingnews.com.
So cpsbreakingnews.com is Darren's website, and he'll probably put up a link to mine. Either way, or I'll throw it over to him, and he can host it on his website. Either way, the forum will become a reality, and every single person in America who has been affected by CPS will be able to create a profile, be able to post content, be able to comment on other people's content, and there will be a unification, because I'm telling you folks, there's like 10 million pissed off constitutional Americans out there who have been harmed by Child Protective Services, agents and enforcers, and stripped of their God-given and constitutionally protected rights. And I would love to see all of you unite. Okay, I'm living vicariously through you guys. I've never, thank God Almighty, I've never had CPS show up on my door. I've never been threatened. I've never once had any of them tell me they were thinking about kidnapping my child from me. God help them if they did, but never happened to me, thank God. But to all of you out there who've had this happen to you, I'm with you, okay? I believe you when you say that they harmed you. I believe you when you say that you didn't deserve this. I believe you when you say that, and many of your shows, Darren, have had people who come on and given their personal testimonies about the crimes committed against them, the wrongs that have been hurled at them, the lies the misdeeds, the straying outside the law. I believe you all. And I want to see you succeed. And I want to see every single one of these sons of bitches held accountable. I want them tried for kidnapping. I want them tried for accessory to kidnapping. I want them tried for deprivation of rights under color of law. And I will thunderously applaud as they are marched off to prison or given whatever the appropriate lawful penalty is for their crimes. So stay tuned.
I think treason should be thrown in there with that, don't you? Destroying the American family.
That's a
treasonous crime.
We're gonna have to reserve an entire podcast for that. I am not saying no. Just let's put it that way. There is treason on the table. There absolutely is treason on the table.
Darren,
hey,
somebody wants to know.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to jump back to that one.
Yeah, but right. That's the same question.
Okay. What if your child wasn't told they were adopted? How can your website help those like me? You know what? If your parents were looking for you, maybe that's once you're told. I mean, we can't, I mean, I wish that we did have a magic wand and we could help everything with everybody.
Yeah, there's no easy answer for that.
But if your parents, if you
were never told you were adopted, what are you going to do? Right.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, unless you can, first you got to find out that you are who you are, like that's the first step, and I hate to live in America where every child, the question needs to come to their mind to ask is, are you my daddy and mommy? You know what I mean? Like,
whether they were adopted.
Are we coming to that in this country that every kid has to ask if you're really my mom and dad? Because that's kind of the way it seems like that, like there's more and more kids going into the system, right? And this is a real thing. And if you were too young to remember it, then, it's going to be that way. So,
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, hopefully your parents.
No easy answer.
Yeah,
it's a great question, but there's no easy answer to it. There is no easy answer, But
if you were looking for your kid, if you're looking for your parents, since you know that you're adopted, go on there, put your parents' names up there, tell them that you're looking for them, and or what you know about them, and you put your information up there, and then see if anything comes back on it. I mean,
it can't hurt to try it.
I think that she's saying that her child does not know she was adopted. She's 17 now, and she hasn't seen her since she was 2.
Yeah,
same answer. There's just no easy answer. If you don't have the information, what are you going to do? The deck is stacked against you. No fault.
You don't know what that 2-year-old remembers. You don't know what your 2-year-old remembers about you. So put up all your information, put a picture of you and her up there, do whatever you can, put that stuff up on there because you don't know what she remembers and what she doesn't.
There you go.
So get your stuff up there and see.
As much as I hate
Give it your
to
best
say
effort. Do the best you can with what you have. That's all God can expect of us. We do the best we can with what we have.
You would be surprised how many people want to know about their genealogy and where they came from, and they want they swab their mouths and they send it into all these crazy heritage places. I hate telling people to use that because the police can use that, but I would do that if I were you because you don't know if she will ever do that, and if it does, I think if your DNA popped up matching her DNA, she would definitely have some questions.
I wonder if we could add something like that to this. I wonder how much it would cost to add something like that, a DNA service to this.
My husband actually found out he has another half sister through this genealogy, heritage, whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, people do it, and that's how this half sister found the other siblings is through one of these DNA places.
Wow.
I mean, the bottom line is it can't hurt to try, even if you suspect this.
Right.
Jump on, put in your profile, reach out, have the conversations. The truth bears scrutiny, folks. Okay? The truth bears scrutiny. If a person tells me that they performed live with the Beatles, I'm going to ask them, you have to actually show me proof of that. I'm doubtful of your claim. I'm skeptical. I really want to see you show me that this did happen. And if they did, there's proof. I don't blame you, Erica, for being afraid of it. I mean,
Right.
I don't blame you. Who would blame you for that? You know? And there's no easy response to what you said.
Mm-hmm. Justin Harley's here, guys. He was on with us last night. What's up, Justin? He's a good dude. He's out there in Ohio. He's making a lot of noise and everything. He's a good guy. He's got a lot of good things he's bringing up here, guys. So if you're watching this, make sure you check out his comments, because he's got a lot of good stuff here that he's been commenting throughout the show. He said this. He said, I wasn't saved by CPS. My parents just told them what they wanted them to hear. And the day I was returned to my parents, we moved to another county and fell through the cracks.
Well
Everybody
played.
thinks CPS is good until they get threatened with an investigation. We all know deep down that it is a corrupt system. Anytime there's money at play, man. Anytime that money is the bottom line.
Yeah, there's the crux of the issue right there. As soon as they start pushing money into something, the bad nature of people comes out, and they no longer care about doing what is right. They only care about making money, and they will easily do bad things if it means making money. The money trumps their conscience. That's a sad reality.
But do you remember what Christmas used to feel like when we were kids? Do you remember that feeling? Like you were excited, you were, Santa Claus coming, the Sears catalog was out, like there was so much that was involved with it. Like I can remember like that warm feeling, and Christmas parties and, all of the families and like Christmas that was really something back then. And now it's not, and that's because of the destruction of the family. I attest to all of that too, the destruction of the family unit. Like the family's not what's important anymore. Like it's the best gaming system. It's the best this, it's the best that. So my answer to you, Erica, is don't be afraid of what it was, because chances are good, just as well as we do, it was probably bullshit. It was probably absolute bullshit. Then your parents were probably great people, and they just were caught in a time, or maybe nothing happened. So don't be afraid of what it's going to be. You could be missing out on a great thing. Time's ticking.
Yeah.
This is what CPS takes from you. Is it takes time. The one thing that you cannot get back, you can't return it.
Well said.
They can't.
Time is our most precious asset. We all have a certain amount of time. None of us know exactly how much time we have. So time is absolutely our most precious asset. And Eric, at the end of the day, you have to find out. Like, you can't not investigate, because you just won't be satisfied if you don't. Right. And no matter what the truth is, you're going to have to eventually confront it.
And somebody was saying that, do we know that CPS uses our stuff against us? Well, of course I know. Darren knows. Dana knows. We all know. And that's the thing, right? You cannot be afraid of retaliation when you're dealing with evil, because good versus evil, good always wins in the long run. It doesn't matter how long it takes.
That is true.
That's why
evil will always retaliate. They're going to. There is no point at which evil will simply give up and go away. They will retaliate. They will come at you. They will punish you as best they can. They use threats. They use coercion. They use blackmail. They are evil and violent and nasty. And that's, unfortunately, that's the foe we face.
Mm-hmm.
And you can back down if you want to, and people do. And I don't blame people sometimes when they back down. But a lot of people back down. There's a whole bunch of issues I could talk about here. But the bottom line is, the guy that speaks out and says, no, fuck you, I'm not falling for your bullshit, I'm not taking it, okay? A dozen people back away behind him. They all back away. They fade because they're afraid, and they know that the eye of Sauron comes on. Right, Tiff? What happens as soon as you oppose? What happens? I have Sauron's in your face. What? How dare you oppose me? Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
But I did see a post, and this is the God's honest truth. It says, if the truth shall kill them, let them die.
Let them die. Yep.
Amen to that.
Because you have a choice. Your choice is you embrace and accept the truth, you look for the truth, or you hide and you don't, and you accept lies. That's your choice.
Oh, Danielle's here. Everybody, keep in your prayers, please, Danielle. Her son is still missing. Alex says, I think it's been 5 months now.
Wow.
You know, I'm sorry, Danielle. Danielle has been here with me since the start of this. And like my heart aches for her. Like I love her like a sister. She's been there for me in a lot of not bad situations, but situations, I should say. And I wish that there was something more I could do for her, but I just, there's nothing I can. And I wish more. Yeah. So all I can ask for is for all of you guys to pray for him and a safe return home, because there's no evidence that anything bad happened. So that, like there's no evidence that way. So we got to go with that and pray that, he's going to be okay. We're going to find him. It's just terrible, but he was put in the system.
I mean, we could say a little prayer for her.
Yeah, if you would like to do that, why don't you go ahead, Dana?
I will do it. And this is something I never, ever, ever do. Like literally almost entirely never, ever, ever do. But I never, ever pray publicly. I pray privately a lot. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when I was working, I used to work third shift out in a kind of rural area. And I would walk out in the middle of the night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and stand under the sky and pray. And I have prayed a very limited number of times in a public setting, or a setting where other people were present. I pray between me and God mostly, but I will pray for you right now, Danielle, and for your son. So, and pray with me if you would, please, all of you who believe in God. And I'm a living, breathing Son of God. And I'm praying right now. Father God, I come to you now most humbly, and I ask you to please safely deliver Danielle's son. All of us here are aligned in this, and all of us offer our heartfelt wishes for the safe delivery of this woman's son. And we ask you this most humbly and beseech you to please make this happen and make it a reality, because all of us here humbly come to you and ask you to make it so. Holy Father, please deliver this woman's son safely back to her. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, that's good. Yes, sir. So please, guys, please make that so, because the power of prayer is real. There's no doubt about that.
It is.
No doubt about that.
Absolutely not. God moves some miracles. So I'm telling you, I have personally witnessed it.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
What song are you using tonight to take us out, Darren?
Well, I think I'm going to use, I think I'll use our regular one, because we didn't play it tonight coming in. So I think we'll end with it. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Whatever you say, noble leader. Watching.
Next week.
Keep watching. Keep supporting.
That's right. We'll make a dent at some point. Have a good weekend, everybody.
We won't stand for corruption. We won't stand for stealing kids. This is the Tiff and the Punisher podcast. Now joined by the angry citizen. This is a powerful trio. Set out to spread the Constitution.
won't stand for corruption, and we won't stand for stealing kids. This is the Tiff and the Punisher podcast, now joined by the angry citizen.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?